Chris, you make me proud.
Wesker?
Tonight was an excellent night for collecting data on Umbrella's biological weaponry and its performance against trained flesh and blood combatants.
You set the team up?
Excellent deduction, Jill. That was Umbrella's intention anyway. However, I don't need them anymore. The ultimate life form. Tyrants. It's beautiful.
Emergency. The self-destruct system has been activated. Personnel must evacuate
No! How could they keep something like that here?
I can't believe it. All of this was his doing.
No time to worry about that now. We have to take this thing down. Wesker.
A self-destruct device. We better get out of here now.
Persistent one, isn't he?
We've got nowhere to run.
We didn't come this far to die now. We need to take him out.
It's not working!
It must have a weakness. What is it?
It was near daybreak on July 25th when the incident at the mansion drew to a close. Except for Chris and a few others, the RPD stars were wiped out. All of the evidence of the event had vanished with the destruction of the mansion. For a brief moment, I felt the pain of coming death. However, this too was part of the plan. Nobody was aware of it, but I had been reborn. I cast off my frail humanity and became something greater.
In the Umbrella Chronicles revisit of the original Resident Evil, we finally get to the ending that seems to have been pretty heavily retconned by Capcom, who, up until this point, had been retreading these grounds with a lot of care and attention to detail, so I don't know why they decided to not keep a lot of the original cutscene idea, the blocking of the characters, and just a lot of the script intact. Because if you played the original game, it is completely different. And especially in the remake that this is trying to be a copy of, this is completely different between the games. You know, simple things like Jill and Barry being the ones, and, you know, assumedly Chris too, but we don't see him. So Jill and Barry would have been the one to get the drop on Wesker. He was supposed to be at the computer, not next to the Tyrant tube. The Tyrant tube was supposed to be next to the computer, which was supposed to be at the back of the room and not at the side of the room. Wesker wasn't being all and out evil. He was discussing how he had ransomed Barry to get his help, which is why he was acting sort of off throughout the entire game. It's just a lot of niggling details that ultimately adds up that this moment was not kept to the original at all. And the Tyrant seems to have been the part where they kept it the most, because in the first phase, again, this was a two-phase fight just like the original game, technically, you would shoot the Tyrant with a token amount of damage. I think for me it was like 3 or 4 Magnum shots before he got down, but even in this game it seems like they cut it down even more than that. I think he was able to sustain maybe 10 seconds worth of bullet damage consistently before falling over. But that's where the second phase kicks in. The second phase of the Tyrant is exactly like the original, except this time, now that you're fighting the Tyrant in first person, it becomes impossible to dodge, mostly because you have no dodge ability. Capcom has the full control of the camera and your movement speed, so you're basically stuck to the ground and having to deal with any of the Tyrant's attacks that he chooses to dish out. And he chooses to dish out a lot of the painful ones that we had seen throughout his original run. That overarching claw shot that in the original game would knock you on your ass. This one, you just take the same amount of damage that it did then. Because that claw, like that charged claw attack of his, would have taken off half of your health bar in the original game. And it's kept to the same point in this one. The Tyrant is a fast boss, which means that you don't get a lot of time to actually dish out the damage and stun him before he attacks you and knocks you on your ass. There's not a ton of health items, but surprisingly there are double what there was in the original game. And the most unfortunate change of them all is that, for whatever reason, Umbrella Chronicles did not keep the iconic rocket launcher ending of the Tyrant boss fight, where you explode him into gibs. If you finish him off in Umbrella Chronicles, he just falls over and the explosion from the mansion kills him. Wesker escapes, as you've seen in the ending cutscene, becomes a superpowered demon monster, fueled by the T-Virus, and everything just kind of lives on all and well, with Jill and Chris having survived the disaster to go on and do more stupid things down the line in the Resident Evil series. And once again, for like the 4th time in a row, the addition of the on-rail shooter thing to the original Resident Evil and Resident Evil 0 continues to prove that it's just underwhelming in every single thing that is trying to pull out for a greatest hits record. It's very freaking disappointing because they're changing a lot of things, they're taking out iconic moments and gameplay details just to fit in the awkward shooting thing that isn't adding anything of its own to the formula to make up for what the game is constantly losing. And ultimately, what we keep getting out of Umbrella Chronicles is just underwhelming, half-assed versions of those nostalgic moments that we remember from the original Resident Evil games. And Capcom, with this sort of project, really needed to put the work in to make the on-rail shooting thing compatible with the vision that they had for the game, and not compromise one for the other, which is what they're doing a lot of the time. Without any ability to control the camera, control our own movement, and with the speed of some of these bosses, it becomes incredibly difficult to actually be able to dish out damage effectively and be able to keep ourselves alive in what I'm assuming they're trying to make a survival situation. And it just ends up as a baffling and badly executed spin-off from the Resident Evil series, which unfortunately was not a rare case among the Resident Evil games. The most recent case of this was Umbrella Corps, which was amazingly badly received on all counts. And I'm sure that other games throughout the series, even in the original PSX days, aren't going to be immune from this status, because Capcom, just judging from this 2007-2008 entry, did not put the work in. They weren't coming up with new ideas and following through on them. They were just coming up with the ideas and hoping to hope that they would work out. And the bumble-handed fingers of the Capcom team really didn't know how to fit two and two together, so we just get these strangely professionally built messes on CDs that we now have to deal with. Just par for the course, I guess.